Hey man, do you have a moment for a quick interview?
Maybe. Let's see. What's this for?
Brother, are you fucking kidding me? Just say yes or no. I don't want you to interview me.
Alright, calm down. Okay, yes. What's the question?
Good choice. So, what do you think about when you hear the word Europe?
Probably about the rich history, the different cultures and the stunning architecture, and about inflation, fucked up politics, war, and quite big societal problems in many places. But hey, it still looks nice, doesn't it? It's still clean, safe, and the architectural style is being preserved, right?
You know what, man? Take my phone and watch this video. I'm pretty sure that you like it.
Alright, I guess.
Welcome back to Valleycore. After 4 months of nothing, I looked up my window and was like, oh, Europe. Then I saw old buildings being replaced by new ones and was like, oh, that's fucked. Another day I sat on my balcony and I got repeated notifications from my YouTube channel on my phone and I was like, oh, YouTube. So basically the reason for this video is, oh, Europe, look, they're destroying it. That's fucked. Let's show how fucked it is on YouTube. Alright, that might be slightly exaggerated, but hey, take it with humor. Firstly, look at these historic buildings which were demolished and rebuilt in a modern way. For example, Les Halles in Paris, France, was a historic marketplace originally built in the 1850s with its nice iron and glass architecture commonly found in Paris or France in general. In the 1970s it was demolished and replaced with a modern shopping mall and public transportation hub. Look at how this looks. Like, it's not even extremely ugly, but at the same time it is, especially if you compare it with the original version. There's also Euston Station in London, UK. Euston Station was built in 1837 with a sexy classical arch and an even sexier hall. In the 1960s it looks like the people who decided that heavily fell on their heads, so it was demolished and replaced with a modernist structure. Like, seriously, what the fuck? That's just unpleasant and boring to look at. Instances where something was never rebuilt again also exist. For example, the Crystal Palace in London, constructed in Hyde Park for the Great Exhibition of 1851. The Crystal Palace was a magnificent glass and iron structure. It was later moved to a different location in South London, but was tragically destroyed by a fire in 1936. Despite efforts to rebuild it, the Crystal Palace was never fully reconstructed. Same as the Royal Opera House in Valletta, Malta. The difference here is that it was destroyed by Axis bombardment because Valletta was a heavily fortified Allied stronghold. So the Italians and the Germans, well, did their thing. But this doesn't just happen with buildings who have a certain significance as the ones named. Entire old town houses and streets are being renovated into modernism. Such as here in Paris, London, Stockholm, and Hamburg. Now, after all those examples and a little bit of history, what are reasons we don't rebuild historic buildings the same way nowadays? One reason is, of course, surprise surprise, money. Rebuilding a historic structure to its original specifications can be extremely expensive and also very time consuming. Materials, craftsmanship, and techniques used in the past may be difficult or expensive to replicate today. Additionally, modern safety and building codes may require costly modifications that were not present in the original construction. We also need more housing a lot quicker than we did in the past. A different reason are our technological advances. Modern construction techniques and materials may offer more efficient and durable alternatives to those used in the past. Even if the cultural value of the building is recognized, stakeholders may prioritize investments in other areas with greater potential for economic returns. I think we may have to realize that we cannot possibly halt this development, simply because it's not important enough for people who decide these kinds of things. But there's hope. I often saw examples while traveling where modernism was combined with the past building style. While not fully restoring all details, the character of the building was kept and green was incorporated while simultaneously restoring it in a modern way. Cities and towns often have rules and regulations in place to govern the preservation of older buildings, especially those with historical, cultural or architectural significance. Now, these rules don't always apply to regular old town buildings or are sadly often broken. In the end, it is what it is. We can only hope that landlords and real estate companies somehow find the value in preserving or rebuilding it the same way, or at least making a compromise in which modernism and history are combined. The only thing we can really do is hope for governments to put harder rules and regulations in place to restore European history and beautiful old towns. With that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. See you next time.
Wow, this was actually a great video. What's the channel's name again? Velichor? I will definitely follow once I get home.